Hi, everybody. So, the pillar that I chose is the quality of care. And I think it's very important for me to mention that there are 12 standards for it because I know not everybody went through all the information. So, I'm going to mention them and kind of explain them shortly so then I can answer the questions that we're supposed to answer. So the first one that I think it's very, very important is never to forget that we have to actually set a goal for every children and youth we're going to work with. And this comes along with the first pillar that is decision making and making questions. We can't set a goal if we don't talk with the youth and the children we're going to be working with. They have to have a voice, which is the fourth standard, which is having an active voice. And this is when we come together with them and talk about it, what they need, um, and we set goals for them. So the second is individualized care, because we all know that everybody's different. They have different needs and different things they want to accomplish. Or, yeah, so this is the second one. Then they have the rights to complain. I think this one is one of the most important ones to let them know about. Because sometimes, yeah, we set goals, we talk to them, but we don't really give them the information that they should have. And this is the fact that they have um, the right to complain, and they can make it through the ombudsman office. And of course, they have a right to make the complaint and to make a report if they have, like, or if we do have a suspicion of something going on. And we don't normally tell them this, right? So then the fifth one is safe, inclusive, and accessible environments. This includes every community, every person with special needs, with different race, culture, and this comes along with identity, which as CYCs and caregivers, we should, maybe you're not going to speak the same language, but we should do the research about the culture, their creed, um, their beliefs. The seventh one is healthy relationships. We have to make sure they have access to this, because sometimes we forget the importance of making and building relationships to really know the youth and the children that we're going to be working with. And then we have staff and caregivers. Staff and caregivers. And we need to have trained and informed caregivers and staff. Then the health and well-being. This means the emotional, spiritual, and mental health. And of course, it comes along with physical health, right? Then the 10th is educational achievement, which we have to be in touch with the school board, with the teachers, and everyone who's involved with the children and the youth. And then they also have to have electronic communication, because nowadays it's very important for them to have access to a computer, to, like all the social media if they like. Of course, they have to be supervised, but they need to have access to it. And then I think one of the most important one is supported transitions. And this means we have to make sure that when they leave their residential home, they're going to have a place to live and employment so they can transition into adulthood without a problem. And I have just 1 minute to say that I think government really needs to focus to make sure that these standards are met. And I think the easiest way to make them a thing that we know that they're all actually, like going on and that they're happening is train your staff, train the caregivers, make sure uh, to go to the residential homes, because I don't think government really goes there and make sure that these standards are being met. So I think they have to have uh, monthly, like monthly meetings with the board or with the residential home and their staff, and then with the caregivers, because it's really important for us to know if the children and the youth are, like they're feeling that they're belong there. So I think this is kind of like the plan, and I think I'm talking too much, but that's what I would ask for the government to plan and strategy to go and meet those residential homes, to talk with the children and the youth, and make sure that they're really, like, their needs are really being met. So thank you, everybody.